you can get my ebook on how to solve quadratic equations. This ebook contains exercises with step-by-step explanations. Also, the lessons are brief and clear. Solving quadratic equations by factorization. Turning factors into zero. Before understanding how to solve a quadratic equation by factorization, it's important that you know how to factor a trinomial of the form a times the square of x plus b times x plus c. In order to factor a trinomial like this, you must perform two steps. The first step is that you must find two terms whose product equals the first term of the trinomial, that is a times the square of x. These terms are to be the first terms of the factors. The second step is that you must find two terms whose product equals the third term of the trinomial, that is c. These terms are to be the last terms of the factors. The addition of these terms or numbers must equal the numerical coefficient of the term p times x. In order to understand how to factor a trinomial of the form a times the square of x plus b times x plus c, let's see an example. Imagine you have the equation the square of x minus 7 times x minus 30 equals 0. Let's factor the trinomial. The first step is to find two terms whose product equals the square of x. In this case, those terms are x and x. Then we must find two terms whose product equals negative 30. Such terms are negative 10 and positive 3. In order to solve a quadratic equation by factorization, you must perform two steps. The first step is to factor the trinomial using the previous method. And the second step to solve a quadratic equation by factorization is to transform each factor into zero. The numbers used to transform the factors into zero are the solutions. Let's see an example on how you can solve a quadratic equation by factorization. Imagine you have the quadratic equation the square of x plus 2 times x minus 120 equals 0. The first step is to factor the trinomial using the previous method, and the resulting factors are x plus 12 and the difference between x and 10. In order to find the first possible solution, you must subtract 12 from positive 12, and then the resulting number is 0. Then the first possible solution is negative 12, since negative 12 was the number used to transform the factor into 0. Let's find the remaining solution to the previous equation. In order to find the remaining solution, you must repeat the process. The previous equation was the square of x plus 2 times x minus 120 equals 0. The first step, as mentioned before, is to factor the trinomial, and the resulting factors are x plus 12 and the difference between x and 10. In order to find the second possible solution, we must transform the second factor into 0. In order to do so, we must replace x with the number 10, and the resulting number is 0. Then the second possible solution is x equals 10, since the number 10 was used to transform the second factor into 0. Now you know how to solve a quadratic equation by factorization. Thanks for watching. See you later. You can get my ebook on how to solve quadratic equations. This ebook contains exercises with step-by-step explanations. Also, the lessons are brief and clear.